What's going on, everyone? It's Josh Albo. In today's video, I'm going to be going over more information than I'm going over in my private Facebook mentorship group, specifically on SMMA. Today we're going to be going over the pricing strategies that you can implement in your social media marketing agency business. What's been successful for me, one of the things I think about when I'm pricing, depending on a specific, depending on the business I'm going to see, all that good stuff. And this has been what's successful for me, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching the video. As always, at the end of the video, if you like it, leave a thumbs up. If you don't like it, leave a thumbs down. If you have a question or you think of something during the video that you want to ask me, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So let's get right into it. So the way I price most when I go to a business, right? I have a meeting, whatever it is. One, so definitely don't do like single level pricing for everything unless it's going to take the same amount of work. So if you're doing Instagram maybe and you're just doing following, then maybe you could have a level playing field. If you're just growing the following, let's say you charge $400 or $500 or $1,000 a month, depending on what value you're going to bring to the person or the business, whatever, the brand itself. But if you're doing Facebook and if you're putting a different amount of time for the different things, then I would say base it on the business itself. So if you're going to a restaurant that is only doing $10,000 a month profit, they're not going to have a huge budget, so the price it. I'm not saying price it according to their budget, because you should price it on the value that you can provide them, not if they say, oh, I only have $100 to spend, but you know that you can make them 500, price it how you want to price it. Yes, at the same time, you have to listen to the buyer, because if you're not listening, then you're not going to close. But price it based on the value that you know you can provide, and then negotiate a way. If they don't see the value still, then work on commission or something to that effect. But generally for a business, let's say the minimum I want you guys charging is $1,000 for starters. I'm also going to go over, if you're very, very new, then maybe you could go in, so one of my perspectives is, if you go to any business and say, hey, let me run your Facebook page for you for $100 a month, they're all going to take it. But to run 10 Facebook pages for $1,000 would be like suicide. There's no way. I wouldn't want you to do that. I definitely, obviously wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't want somebody to go through all the work, because it would be a lot of work. You can't pay employees for $1,000 an hour. You can't, it's not profitable to do it at that rate. But you can learn. So I'd say maybe do like 2 or 3 for a super low price. Let's say a couple $100, which is super undervalued in the market, because market price is $1,000 plus generally. That's like the minimum people are charging. So if you go to them and say that, they can get 50% off or like 80% off what they should be paying generally. You can explain that to them and be like, I'm trying to learn more about it. I know this much, but I want to learn more about it so that I can do better and better in the future. So then because if you don't know anything about SMMA yet, you can't necessarily go to a business and say, hey, give me $5,000 a month to run your Facebook page, and you're only going to bring them in a return of $1,000 or $3,000. That's not sustainable. You're not going to be in business very long, and it's going to create a bad relationship. Versus if you say you go to a real estate agent, right? This is very simple. So a real estate agent, let's say the commission on a house that they close on is $5,000, and let's say you can get them leads like on Instagram specifically, because this is what I did. So I was charging a real estate agent $400 a month to grow her Instagram page, but she got 6 leads out of that. Even if one closes, that's $5,000 profit. So within 3 months, I think she got 6 or 16 leads, but we're also doing 1,000 plus followers a month. But a lead's worth $5,000. So we could hypothetically go the full year, and still at $400 a month, that's $4,800 a year. We could go the full year charging her as long as she closes one deal from just the Instagram leads that we're getting her. It's still profitable. So if you can do the math on when you watch my other video if you haven't seen it yet on how to start at the agency. But watch the video on that, because that explains if you can provide the owner of whatever business it is value, they'll pay you. But you have to be able to present that and communicate that, so it will build your communication skills and sales skills along the way. But the minimum you should be charging to manage, let's say, a Facebook or manage an Instagram, which the management includes posting, possibly creating content if that's part of it. This can all be talked about. When you're in the selling process, go over what the needs are. Obviously, I have to remember that not everybody has done this, so I'm trying to make this very step-by-step, simple for you guys. When you're in the selling process, go over what their needs are. Have that conversation about, do you need to be posting every single day? Or do you just want me to run ads for you? Because you can do the ad side too. And then keep the ad budget separate. This is one of the big things I learned when I was doing it, because if you say we'll spend, let's say you'll spend a portion of it on ads to see the result that you're expecting to give them. Let's say they're paying you $1,000 a month, but you're only seeing 5,000 a week in reach, and you said 10,000. Now that money's coming out of your pocket. Versus if you say $1,000 a month, and then whatever ads budget that you want, you'll make the ads, you'll post it for them, whatever you like negotiate with the owner. Then the ad budget's on them. Once the ad budget's gone, it's not on you anymore. You don't have to worry about it. You still have to do a good job because it's a long-term game. $1,000 is shit. 10 grand, 20, anything under like if we're still talking thousands, it's all baby money. I'd rather have 4 million or 40 million or 4 billion than $4,000. So like the short-term game of, oh, like I made $1,000 today, or I made 12,000 for the year. When you start getting into like the bigger clients, I made 60 grand on this one client if they stay for the full year. That's shit. That's pennies compared to what you could do if you do that for 5-10 years. And if you do a good job for them, the referral like game side of this business is great. So even if you, let's say you do, so here's another thing you can work into it. If you have a client that has valuable leads. So let's say you go to a restaurant that knows all the other restaurant owners in the area. You can go to them and say, hey, I want to do this for a lower price. Let's say you normally charge $2 grand a month. I want to do this for $1,000 a month. I'm going to give you half off, but I want you to give me 5, 10 leads, whatever, 20 leads, 100 leads, negotiate with them. Or I want you to give me, like, put me in front of these people, let's say 100 people, but I'll give you this for the year. I'll give you half off for the year. If you know that you can make that back on those leads, if they give you 5 leads a month that close, is it worth taking $1,000 loss here to make an extra 5 on the other ones, or 10 if you're charging $2 grand a month on 5 people? No shit. It's a no-brainer. It's free money. So play the long-term game out of it. Keep the value there. Make sure that you're actually doing what you're telling the owners you're going to do, because otherwise they'll just, like, you'll make a couple grand in a couple months and quit. And then also, this doesn't necessarily have to do with the pricing, but communication in this business is super, super key. You need to be communicating with them as often as possible. I'm not saying necessarily text them every single day, but it wouldn't hurt to, let's say, talk to them in the morning, 5, 10, 20-minute phone call. This is the plan, boom, boom, boom. Or at least, like, at a minimum, like every Sunday or Monday at the beginning of the week. This is the plan for the week, boom, boom, boom. And then if they're not in person, because I have clients in Canada, UK, Brazil, Australia, and then the US and a bunch of different states too. So if it's not in person, you can set up a FaceTime call. I like FaceTime calls for sales better than just a normal phone call, because it's visual. They can see a real person on the other end of the line. I've closed multi-$1,000 deals without having to necessarily have my visual, so people I've never met, just like sending money, because it's an easy business model. If you're good at your stuff, the people will give you the money. If you can provide the value and make sure that you can like show them the results that they can get. You can only guarantee so much, but you can guarantee reach, you can guarantee leads with Facebook ads, because you can control the manual bidding on how much you're willing to pay for those things, so that either you don't spend the money or you get them at your price. So you can control that stuff. So those are some of the things you can guarantee. You can't guarantee obviously sales or business and stuff, but the goal is like to bring them the leads so that they can sell. If you're doing the marketing side, if you're doing sales, it's completely different. But from the marketing side, if you go to a business and you say, I'm gonna charge you $1,000 a month, but I'm gonna get you in front of 100,000 people, and let's say we got a $500 ad budget, because that'd be high for 1,000 or 100,000 people, $500 ad budget, and you make 1,000, you're happy, you're making $250 a week on this person, on this client, on this business. They're getting in front of 100,000 people, but they're spending $1,500 total. If they tell you your target market, which they're going to give you the information on that, and they know that let's say 10% of these people close, 10,000 people, even if they're only paying for $1 profit per thing, at 10%, it pays for that. So you need to close. You need to be at least good enough in marketing with these numbers specifically to have the business close 1.5% of this, because that'd be $1,500. So that'd be break even, and then they would also be getting the free. If they're playing the long game too, which you can explain to them, they'd be getting the free 100,000 in traffic. So even if they only break even in the first 2 months, as long as it's covering the cost they're paying you, and the cost, everything else is just like free organic reach on top, so people know about you, and they might come in the future. You can do CRM on them, so you can like run a drip campaign or whatever on them, the people that, let's say, saw it but didn't buy, so then in the future it pays for itself. And if you can communicate that with the business owner that you're talking about, it'll give you not negotiating power, but if you can communicate in a way that they understand it, I think it makes sense. If I know I might have to spend 500, let's say for my own instance, let's say I have to spend $500 a month, but I'm making that 500 back. I'm not profiting yet, but if I'm getting leads that I can run like CRM on for the next 5, 10, 20 years, whatever, until they block me on shit, the money will come eventually. It's all a long-term game. $4 billion is way cooler than 4,000 or 40 grand or 400. Like, anything with 1,000 at the end is baby money. So this is the pricing strategy I guess I would use. Not necessarily, so once you get past this, let's say, I'll give you one more like caveat. Once you get past charging like $1,000 a month, you can go to businesses and say, okay, what's the business model? I put another video up about this too on my YouTube. What's the business model, and then like how much money does it, like how much money can you make with it? If they're already doing 40, 50,000 a month or 200,000 a month, they can afford to pay you 10, 20, 50K if you know that you can make that back because you know the advertising side. So when you get good at this stuff and you're comfortable selling it for 1,000, 2,000, anywhere up to like 5,000, which is still like baby numbers, and the businesses are willing to pay, but you have to target the right businesses who have the money to pay for this. So if somebody's making 10 grand a month profit, they can't afford to give you 5K, but necessarily, unless you can like really show the value and they have a lot of confidence in you. But that's taking half their money, putting it back in versus like a 10-50%, which is normal for like realtors specifically, let's say. So the other side of the game, when you start going to the big businesses, you can play a volume game. So if somebody's doing 80 grand a month, let's say, you can just sell them leads instead of selling them like the marketing, the management side. So they know they're doing 80 grand a month, let's say, and they pay, let's say they're playing the volume game too. So let's say they're doing, for easier math, because I don't feel like being super smart, 100,000 a month, but they're willing to pay $5 for every lead you get in the door. If you get 1,000 leads in the door, you just paid $5 grand just to run the just to like get those people in the door, and then they might give you a $1,000 ad budget to find those 1,000 people that you got for them, and you can run lead ads on Facebook that will give you that, or let's say $1 lead or $10 lead, whatever they're willing to pay. If you can get it for a lower price, then you're just running the ads and funneling them through like an online video funnel or whatever. So I hope that gives you guys a better understanding of the pricing when you're doing SMMA for businesses. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, leave a thumbs down, and then I'll know which videos are working and which ones aren't, and I'll like do my own calculations from there. Thanks for watching the video again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and press the bell so you get notifications when I post, but you like the videos, you're getting value out of it, you're making money with it, which is what matters at the end of the day, then click the subscribe button and the bell button. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments below. DM me on Instagram at @TheJoshElbow. I think my phone number's on Instagram too. One of my phone numbers. Send me an email on there. But if you need anything, I'm your guy. And then if you want to get into my one-on-one mentorship program, I do one-on-one coaching, and I also have a private exclusive Facebook group, which is a lower ticket item that anybody can join into, but it's only for people like if you're willing to do the work. But I have some free incentives inside that essentially pay for the program itself once you get in. So it's got an upfront price, but the value I can almost guarantee, which is weird to say when it comes to money, I can almost guarantee like a $200 to $300 profit within the first week, guaranteed, no risk, all that stuff. So if you want more information on that, just leave it in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram. Don't leave it in the comments, because if you DM me on Instagram, I got a lot of, like I have the 99 plus in the corner requests, so it's gonna take me a second to get back to you. But when I do get back to you, if that's what you're, DM me money, and then just say that you watched me on YouTube. Other than that, I'll see everyone in the next video.